Hello again, everyone. I'm Richard Weil, and I am the principal and owner of National Restaurant Consultants. And welcome to our 82nd National Restaurant Consultants Helpful Moment. And of course, our wonderful co-branding partner, Mr. Brian Devine from Top Line Management and Cafe Fuel. Hello, Brian. Good to see you this week. Our special guest is Mr. Nick. Yep, there's Mr. Nick Ault, who is the proprietor and president of Duffeyroll Bakery Cafe in Denver, Colorado, with 3 magnificent locations. But you can get Duffeyrolls anywhere in the world because they're that good and they ship anywhere. They have a magnificent fulfillment program. Nick, welcome in. It's been a long time since we've had you on the NRC Helpful Moment. I think it was the end of May when we did have you on last, but lots of things have transpired there. So Nick, we're delighted to have you again. So thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Richard and Brian. Appreciate it.
So Nick, absolutely. I know that when we first started the pandemic, we had to close our dining rooms and you all pivoted to a new normal. And talk to us a little bit about what you've done to keep your staff employed and keeping people going, and more importantly, delighting customers and guests as you always have with Duffeyrolls. So tell us a little bit what you all have been doing as a team.
You know, I think since we talked last, I think a lot of what's been super cool has been, that phrase of my motivating or keeping the team. It's really the team has really been the story. It's once we kind of got to spend X percentage of time, kind of stressing about what the new rules are and wondering what the new rules are, and then the rules change and all that. And then when you shift gears from that, keep that percentage as small as you can on the problems, and just shift gears towards, okay, this is how it is, this is what it is, and it's really cool to see that when you shift that percentage to just problem solving and focusing on, all right, this is what it is. It's kind of like a MacGyver entrepreneurial exercise where you just have the rules are changing a little bit, and you have your team that's just engaged, and it's I think that's been by far the most exciting part and solidifying part for me, is from the standpoint of the foundation of our company, and is just seeing how people react under adversity. And I just couldn't be more proud of the people that I work with. It's been fun also just talking to other entrepreneurs and other business owners that have, that whole, we're all in the same boat. And it's really quite something to see just how people's creativity and thinking out of the box kicks in for people, which really just goes back to that whole entrepreneurial spirit that is at the core of anybody crazy enough to own their own business and be in business, I suppose. And it's just super cool when you have when everybody's grabbing an oar and pulling on the oars and just working and staying positive and thinking, just really thinking out of the box. And sometimes that can be a very healthy thing, because pre-COVID, and sometimes when we get into routines and in life in general, that word routine can lead to atrophy in a lot of ways, in very subtle ways and subconscious ways. And it's if you look at things the right way, I think you can find some things that maybe you're forced to think out of the box, where maybe you were in comfort zones and kind of going along, right? And then it's pretty magical when you put your heads together with talented people and people who are willing to work and stay positive through a process. And it's been very enchanting. And for Duffy's, it's been great because we happen to have a business model that's very portable and very we have a lot of ways that we can skin the cat from the standpoint of getting our product out, and through our bake at home products on the freezer side, or the brick and mortar, or delivery, or catering, or there's just different ways that we've been able to service the customers. And it's getting feedback from the staff, but it's also talking to customers too. And so sometimes you get some good ideas from customers, and you have that whole adage of putting yourself in other people's shoes and looking from the other side of the fence, and you learn a lot. And this this last three months in particular, it's just been it's been a whole lot of good that's kind of weaved itself into the fabric of what's a pretty extraordinary time, right? So it's I can't say it's fun, but I can say it's been gratifying, maybe at the same time, just to see what's coming out of it and what continues to evolve.
I think one of the things that's impressing me is Nick and his communications with his staff, his managers, his staff as well. Nick has a huge background now after all these years in baking, but he'll get behind the line. He'll talk to the customers, and more importantly, his communication. And I think that's what I think is a great message. His ability to communicate with his staff and his employees to make sure the messaging of service and quality, I think more so maybe now than ever, not that Duffeyroll ever wanted to not have great service and great product, but I think you've reemphasized that at a new level now, Nick. You follow that and agree with that?
I think so. And I think, ultimately, the game is played on the field and it's on the front lines. And sometimes we can feel a form of, not by any design or anything like that, but we can get detached from that a little bit. And so that's one of the other positives is, it's nice getting some mud on your uniform and getting, and just being in the grind and getting and having fun with it. And that's part of the sports metaphor side of it that I think is to me the most gratifying part is actually, sometimes that whole it's lonely at the top and you're making the decisions behind the curtain and some of the visionary stuff and all that. But to me, the fun in the sandbox is still on the front line with the customers and with when I sign paychecks, it's a pleasure to know the people behind the name that you're signing the paycheck to and working with them and that sharing that playing field with them is really where it's where it all happens anyway. That's where the success or failure happens anyway. So that's another nice opportunity to kind of get on the front lines and be just to get a better feel on the pulse for how your company's going with or without the virus.
I think that says it all, really. Brian, have you got anything else you want to add or ask Nick while we're here?
Absolutely. Thank you. I appreciate all that, Nick. I based on what you were talking about, it actually kind of leads me into what I was thinking about talking about today, because when you mentioned that you want people thinking out of the box and that you're getting mud on the uniform, so to speak, that you specifically were controlling everything that you can control and taking an active role in that, which is extremely important and hugely valuable. And I also want everyone else thinking about all those things that you can control, because right now I think we're all sort of still reeling a little bit about all the things that we can't control. So get back to the things that you can control. And obviously, as a marketer, I'm always going to be talking about you can control your marketing. And Nick talked about the message that you give to everyone, right? Not just your customers, but also to your staff and everyone involved. So think about that, because again, you can control that. So take control where you can there, and that means communicating in all different ways and levels. And then, of course, getting that communication out so that people can participate in that. Because with the way things are today, still, when you can connect and communicate with everyone that you need to in all these great ways. And I have to tell you, ads on Facebook and YouTube are still crazy inexpensive right now. So take advantage of that so you can get your communication out to more people faster and cheaper than ever before. So that's what I wanted to cover today, Richard.
Yeah. And video. Yeah. Go ahead, Nick.
Yeah. That part, Brian, is so important. I think I remember when I first opened one of my stores and it was a little bit slow at the beginning and kind of keeping the manager motivated and all that. So kind of this time in that transition a couple of months ago where we're able to reopen or whatever, to get everyone focused not on the empty seats, but on the seat that is occupied, or the people that are coming in, not the people that aren't coming in, and kind of take your mind off the statistics and look at it as an opportunity to say, that one table or those two people at those two tables distanced apart, what a great opportunity to to get to know them, introduce yourself, get to know their name, but just to bring it at a whole nother level of attunement to their experience. And so it's not focusing on what isn't in the empty seats, but focusing on the seats that are occupied. And even if it's one person, make that person feel like a king or queen, and it comes back in a very positive way. So,
and I think that sums it up to what we talked about even a week ago. We are the industry of happy. We are the industry of fun, and I would tell you that there's nothing more that'll make you happier than to have a Duffeyroll, because they're the most amazing things ever. And
we'll call them happy rolls.
Happy rolls. Well, we are in Colorado. We have a lot of happy rolls.
Right. Enough said.
Enough said. But that's our helpful moment for today. I can't thank the entrepreneurial spirit of Nick Ault and the Duffeyroll team is enormous, and that's why I think it's one of the best practices, best playbooks that anybody can. Nick Ault, you're a true.
Thank you very much, Brian and Richard. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Friend of the industry. Bye.
All right.
Bye.
Peace. Thank you.